All right, thanks for watching. I'm doing a review on this KOBALT 80 volt max brushless edger. I was gonna get the DeWalt one because that's what I have a bunch of tools of, and it has interchangeable heads is what they came out with, but none in stock, can't have any till like December, and I'm not gonna need an edger in December. I've never owned an edger before other than the push one, so I wanted to get something that was wireless and not dragging a wire all around my yard over here and edging up. I don't want to have to deal with that. 80 volt battery, so I know that with an edger you need a lot of power. It's not like a weed whip. I do have the 60 volt DeWalt hanging up there, and that thing is awesome. Really impressed with it. So I guess they want that extra. They want that extra to get that more power that's needed for edging. It's not like weed whipping. Anyways, first off, I opened this thing up. I paid $249 from Lowe's.com. It was $50 off on sale. When you first look at this battery, this thing is enormous. The only complaints I heard was somebody said it was very heavy in the back end, but they loved the work that it did. One guy gave it a negative review because for some reason, the blade that comes with this thing, he wasn't happy, and he said all he had to do was go buy a different blade for the edger, and he was extremely happy with the performance of the unit. Okay, when I opened this box up, the only thing I really had to do was right here, I had to slide this pole into here, and this right here, there's a little notch, this thing right here that I'm pushing, went right up in there. I took the Allen wrench that came with it and tightened these two right here. Also, this thing was not on there, but this piece was together. So you unscrewed this all the way. Maybe I should show you guys for you beginners who do buy this and don't understand it and who wants to read directions. That's why you're watching a video, right? All right, so I'm gonna retake this thing off and show you guys how this goes. You see this piece here. I'm gonna flip this over right here. And what happened was to put this in here, because it doesn't really, I guess it probably doesn't even tell you this in the instructions, so I'm gonna show you guys. You slide the piece without the hole right in that little notch, you see that? Let me zoom in, that slides in, and then this goes over this right here on the pole though. You get what I'm saying? So the pole would already be on there. I got one hand, I'm holding this and trying to show you guys. Make sure that this thing right here, as you can see the picture right here, towards the battery, you're gonna wanna face this thing. Which way am I holding it? That's gonna face like that, towards the battery. See how the battery's right there? I'll turn it this way. So that's how you would put it on. Let me put this back on and I'll show you guys how that thing back on there. And make sure when you do put this on, you're gonna ask, where do I put it? On the picture, it shows it only about 3 inches from the bar. I got mine about 5 inches, 6 inches. Reason being is, I like it when I hold it. The more forward it is, that battery is gonna be so heavy, it's gonna wanna top up like that. So slide this up where it's more comfortable for you. The more you slide it up, it will stay down. I really want this thing on the floor. I don't want it floating and this headpiece lifting up. You don't want that. So if that's the case, you need to adjust where this goes right here, either forward or back. See what works for you. And it does have a battery tester. You could test it. When I got it, it was totally dead. I put it on there. I think it took about maybe a couple hours and it fully charged it. Oh, I wish the battery was a little smaller. That's a big battery. All right, sliding this in, and obviously it locks in here. You might need 2 hands. You did need 2 hands to push this in, and then this piece locks in right here to eject the battery. See that? But I don't think I can slide that in with one hand. It locks in once you push it forward. Got a safety trigger so kids don't get their hands on it. Hopefully they don't know how to use that. I got little kids, so I'm definitely gonna disconnect this battery because that down there could be lethal. So you flip this forward right here and then you push it in to make it perform. So now that I'm pressing this, I like how they did this. Same thing with the DeWalt. When you pull the trigger a little bit, it only gives it a little bit of power. And then if you pull it more power increases. So I definitely like that feature right there. All right, so like I said, it came with an Allen wrench to tighten those 2 screws up over there. So it came with an Allen wrench there. It also came with this tool here. You got a Phillips screwdriver on one end, and then you got this to remove the blade right here. And usually, like on my angle grinder, there was a button I can push on this unit and then unscrew it. I guess if I had 2 hands, I could unscrew this. It looks like the tread is going the normal way where it's reverse clockwise. Oh, that's actually one of these sides is smaller than the other, so it would be this one. That still feels a little bit loose. Not impressed with that. That should have been a tighter fit. Okay, anyways, that'll probably take that off. So if you're gonna use one of these and you're not impressed with it, definitely get a new blade, because that was the downfall of the reviews. I think there was 2 or 3 people that complained about that. One guy was really complaining and called the company itself. and they even commented back on his review. But I don't know what this thing is. If anybody can leave me a comment, I'm sure it's in the instructions, but obviously it's not something I need if I could make the thing work. And one day I will find out what it is, because one of you guys is gonna leave a comment on what the heck this thing is. You know what it looks like? A straw with no hole. Anyways, so I was curious and I peeked at the instructions on what the heck that was. Remember how I talked about a button on my angle grinder? This is what it is. You got to turn this piece right here, and there is a little hole. If you turn this gear, or whatever you want to call this, the whatever, what the hell is that thing? The blade? All right, so you stick that in there, and that locks the blade from not moving, so that way you can unscrew this counterclockwise to unscrew the blade. You see how that locks? So that's what that is. Right, so unscrewing this was actually clockwise, which is opposite of what we're used to, and counterclockwise will tighten it. So remember that it is opposite of what you are used to, or you're just going to be tightening this thing. All right, so I'm going to remove it so everybody can get a look at this blade and what it looks like if you're going to buy other ones. Now I am going to tell you that I'm actually going to purchase mine on eBay, because you can get blades so much cheaper than the regular store. It seems like Home Depot or the big box stores, Menards and Lowe's, they charge a lot for accessories. Like, you can buy a drill, a DeWalt drill, for like 80 bucks, but yet the battery costs 120. It doesn't make sense. Or drill bits, they're just really expensive. I've heard that they make their money on the accessories and not the actual product. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this, take measurements of it, and look on eBay and try to buy something name brand Milwaukee or something like that, just to give you an idea, and buy the edger blades. They make some with like sharpened tips and stuff like that. That's what I think I'm gonna try to get, and just see the performance of the other products. So it looks like we got an 8-inch blade here. It's actually a hair under, but I think they still would call that an 8-inch. And then you are working with what looks to be a 1-inch hole. Let me just take this and go exactly and hover right over it so you guys could see that. Yeah, I would say that's a 1-inch hole in the center over here. Pretty much a flat blade, nothing to it. I can't even pick it up off the floor. That's about it. All right, getting ready to use this thing for the first time. Installing the 20-pound battery pack. And here we go. Right there. I almost feel like you got to give it 2 runs or stay right up against the concrete. Never used the edger before, so. So this is the test. Is it worth it or is it not? That didn't take long at all. That does give it a nice clean look. Look at that. I think I'm gonna have every neighbor in this neighborhood edging their lawns because nobody does it yet. I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like. You saw how it works. You got to clean out the ditch that it creates. This one on the right side, I went 2 passes and blew it out, so it gives it a nice clean look. So look at it from there, and since it's never been edged, it's a lot more work, but it's not hard at all. And after I get this done, next time that I cut the grass, it'll be much easier. So again, all right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching, and give me a thumbs up. Hopefully this video helped you out on deciding whether to buy the KOBALT 80-volt edger.